Hi, it's Aldo Roberto with Councillor's Corner, and today I have a guest with me, a very special guest, Keith Hobbs, Mayor of Thunder Bay. Keith, out there in social media, it says that you decided to withdraw from the Facebook, etc. And can you tell us why you did that?
Yeah, first and foremost, 4 years ago, I started up a Facebook page and a mayor's page. I got on Twitter. Right away I got confronted by a gentleman, using the term loosely, from Edmonton, that started attacking me on my stance with Aboriginal issues, and saying that if he knew I was such an Indian lover, he would have never voted for me. He's moved away. He's glad he moved away. He doesn't want to live in a city with so many Indians. And it got to the point where it escalated to the point where he threatened my life. So I sent the police out to talk to him, and I haven't heard from him again. So that was all good. But in the last couple of years, it's just been brutal. My fiance has been the brunt recently of some very nasty stuff that I wouldn't repeat in public. My son, his daughter. Then you throw into the mix the letter writer that's threatened council members, and I received 6 letters, and that subject was arrested and charged. But that took a big toll on my family. I was actually sitting outside my son's residence on occasions at night, making sure that they were secure. They didn't know I was out there, but I had to employ my old surveillance tactics. And you know what, a mayor, any official shouldn't have to go to that length. There's one person in town that has a blog dedicated to me, had me dressed up in a Nazi uniform looking like Adolf Hitler, and he didn't know that 12 of my family members died in the Holocaust. And those are the kinds of things that are over the top. And I have no stomach for it anymore. I don't want my family to be suffering and crying themselves to sleep at night. That's not what social media is all about, and I've had enough of the nonsense. So some people have said, oh, you're running away from the problem, and no, I'm not. I'm eliminating that idiocy from my life. And you know what, I do have an open door policy. That's not going to change. I have anyone that wants to come and see the mayor with an issue can come and see the mayor. They just have to make an appointment.
Well, Keith, I know you've always been accessible. I just want to go back to that, the letters and the threats, etc. I don't think a lot of people were aware of what was going on behind the scenes with the threatening letters and how they actually infiltrated your family in terms of identifying your grandchildren, etc.
Yeah, actually, I have a 3-year-old granddaughter. One of the letters said that they were going to abduct my granddaughter and raise that child properly. It was very, very disturbing because they named her by name. They actually had a picture on their computer of my granddaughter, and that's when I started camping outside my son's house without his knowledge. And I'm glad the police caught him first.
And I understand also on Facebook, I'm on Facebook obviously, and I certainly get a lot of, I call them nutcases that use a false name, etc., are so embarrassed about what they say, they don't even use their real name. I don't blame you for getting off. It does consume you. And I think one of the problems on Facebook seems to be the fact that people expect you to react to them immediately. You are accessible many other ways. Could you just elaborate on those ways that people can contact you if they want to contact you for official city business?
Well, again, we have a website through the city. Everyone knows the number to the mayor's office, and Janine, my executive assistant, has been instructed to set up appointments with anyone that wants them. I'll try and deal with the issue on the phone if I can, and I return every phone call. You can see stacks of phone calls that I have on my desk. I've been doing that today for 2 hours. I return every phone call. It may take me a week or two because I get stacks of them, and that's what happens when you're accessible. You get swamped with it. So I'll detail them off to the different departments that are appropriate to deal with them, and if they're having issues with the department, I'll intervene if I have to. Every person that's asked for an appointment gets one unless it's a security risk. And there are people that are flagged that are security risks to this building, as we all know. They don't get one. Yeah,
it is unfortunate that there are people out there that are threatening the mayor and council, and I know there some people have actually had restraining orders, etc. Keith, I want to also just switch subjects now. I want to talk about Livio De Matteo's letter to the editor, saying that, yes, these building permits are out there, but, most of them are government, and they're not really beneficial to us, that we're hanging on the brink. We always seem to get letters from people that are professionals in certain areas. They don't make history, they seem to write history. So could you just explain a little bit, or elaborate a little bit about what those building permits mean to our city and how you feel about the way things have been going in terms of progress that's been made?
Well, we've had over $700 million in building permits issued, and yes, some of those are, government contracts or buildings, like i.e. the courthouse, but a lot of them have been private too. And irregardless of whether they're private or they're government builds, look at the taxes that we're going to receive from the courthouse. That all goes to our assessment growth, and we've saw $2.1 million in assessment growth last year. All the new hotels and the courthouse haven't come on the rolls yet, so that's going to be huge assessment growth. So that all contributes to the growth in the GDP of the city. And he's been negative on a lot of occasions, and I always like to think that we're half-glass full people. Our council, well, look what we've done financially, and it rebuts everything he says. Standard & Poor's have increased our credit rating 2 points in the last 2 years, and that credit rating is been stagnant since 1997. We have paid down debt since 2009 to the tune of $31 million. We took on $8 million for phase 2 of the Golf Links Junot corridor. However, we still paid down debt. Our debt to reserve ratio has improved vastly in the last 4 years. We're just seeing growth like we've never seen before. At the same time, put $252.7 million into infrastructure, which is record numbers. So we're improving our roads, and at the same time, we're being fiscally responsible. Our finances are in the best shape they've been in years.
I think what people don't see is what happens with infrastructure when it goes beneath the roads, it's on the road. They do see buildings like the courthouse, but they don't see the small houses being built. They don't see the shoppers. They don't see those little buildings being built around the city. So I guess they don't see the complete picture sometimes.
But all you have to do is drive around town in the last 4 years and see the growth and see the improvements on the roads. And you look at Valley Street, you look at that little patch of May Street. I mean, just to do that patch was over $1 million. Wow. And infrastructure is expensive, and when you let it decay for as long as it was, it's we are catching up. This council's been very responsible. But I'm excited, and I think we have a lot of good stuff coming at us. The event center, I'm telling you, got another letter of endorsement today on it, and people are, they obviously voted us in knowing our stance on it. And when I went to doors, I did a unscientific survey, but I knocked on about 1,000 doors this campaign. 73% of the people I talked to, and I asked the question, were in favor of the event center, contrary to what we're hearing. You always seem to hear the negative. Yeah. The media picks up on the negative for the most part, and I'm really happy that you're doing this and we can get the positives out there, because where the silent majority are silent, they're not vocal.
Well, the silent majority certainly spoke on election night. I would say this, yes, Thunder Bay Live is going to be a positive feature all the time. We're going to be looking at things, talking to people, getting the real story, getting their version, as opposed to getting someone else's version on Facebook, at the coffee shop, wherever. Keith, you had a great 4 years. This last election, did you find it a big difference in terms of the way it was run, conducted? How'd you feel? I mean, it's one thing being outside looking in, it's another thing trying to defend your position.
It is. Actually, it was easy the first time because I got to knock on over 20,000 doors, and I had the time to do it because I had just retired. But running the job as mayor, running the city, and trying to get out to knock on doors and meet people and get your views across, and had to rely on the debates and things like that. But I'm excited about the next 4 years for this city. I know we have some challenges, social issues. When I do my inaugural speech on the 1st of December with City Council, with the help of City Council, I know we're on the same page. We want to look at those issues, but people all say to me, well, money should be spent on the social issues. Yes, you have to do that, but you can't ignore the other stuff. I mean, we have to build event centers, we have to put the infrastructure in place, and you have different pockets of money to do that. And that's the thing that really drives me crazy when I was campaigning. Why are you spending $25 million on the event center when you could be spending it on poverty issues? Well, some of those issues aren't ours. They're provincial and federal government, and that's where I really want to see our council really start putting the pressure on the feds and the province to come up with those dollars.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that, because when we were doing the waterfront, a lot of people said you're going to ignore the social issues, you're going to ignore infrastructure, etc. Same type of conversation. And by no means has that been ignored. If anything, more money has been added to those areas. Keith, I know you're a busy man, and I want to thank you very much on behalf of Thunder Bay Live for a wonderful taking the time to spend with us.
I want to congratulate you on your victory as well. I'm glad to see as many back, on council, because we have had a very cohesive council for the last 4 years, and I look forward to that again for another 4 years, and let's keep moving the city forward.
Let's move the city forward. I'm here with Keith Hobbs, Thunder Bay Live. Thank you very much. Councillor's Corner. Thank you.